And it is Saturday, 13th of October. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, US time. I'm in Chicago, Illinois. And big thank you to both Catherine and Michael, who have graciously offered to put me up for my stay in Chicago. Big thank you to them and to all the other people who have helped me on my journey so far. Right. I'm recording now a video, but I tried to record both yesterday and the day before, but was unable to post because my tablet that I'm carrying with me doesn't have the necessary bandwidth for this. Something's blocking me anyway, so let's try again. This is my latest uptake on the horoscope of America, born at 5 in the afternoon on the 4th of July, 1776 in Philadelphia. The Sibley chart, as it's known, is generally well known amongst astrologers. I'm not so concerned around the position of the ascendant or the midheaven, Uranus, Neptune or Pluto, or even Mercury. The USA Mars at 21 Gemini is in a really healthy position at the moment, and I'm not seeing any sign of any type of major opposition to the USA in terms of nastiness, violence or aggression at this time, or at least any more than normal. And I don't see the USA militaristic position as getting any worse over the coming year. The Venus-Jupiter conjunction in Cancer is in an excellent position for America. This is its generous, warm-hearted, big nature side that in the 7th house of relationships reaches out in terms of foreign aid and aids a great deal of people all around the world as well, regardless of where they are. And indeed, this Venus-Jupiter trine in America's chart is coming up. This Venus-Jupiter conjunction in America's chart is happening both now and all of next year. It's being trined by Neptune, bringing a much greater degree of sensitivity, empathy, compassion, generosity, intuition, big-heartedness, creative imagination, and even, dare I say it, a degree of quasi-spirituality into the equation. So in many ways, the generosity of both the American people, which I have been on the receiving end of, and again, big thank you to everyone out there, is only going to become more and more emphasized. However, this is subsidiary to the main aspect. In America's chart, there is a very strong Sun square Saturn. Saturn is at 14 degrees of Libra in the American chart, and the Sun is at 13 degrees of Cancer. Next year, Pluto will oppose the American Sun, and Uranus will square it. Next year also, Uranus will oppose the American Saturn, and Pluto will square the American Saturn in 2015. Sun square Saturn in both an individual's and a country's chart generally talks of words like structure, order. On the negative side, boundary, restriction, limitation, authorities being brought to bear, circumstances outside of a person's ability to influence, holding them back, restricting and limiting. Sun square Saturn individuals and nations can often be seen as quite dour, with words like father, teacher, employer, God being really dominant, and a sense of order being imposed. On the positive side, Sun square Saturn individuals and countries bring in concepts such as hard work, self-discipline, concentration, focus, order, self-responsibility, yet more hard work, and eventually success. However, Pluto opposing the American Sun calls for some type of regeneration and transformation from within. It is an inversion. It is as if the caterpillar is turning into the butterfly, the snake shedding its skin, and ultimately the phoenix will rise. But with Uranus squaring the American Sun, there's also going to be a sense of the unpredictable, the disruptive, the chaotic, and the fragmentary. I'm not one of these people that thinks that America is going to split down the middle. I'm not seeing what I see as a disintegration of the USA, but I am seeing a change in the way that it's run and managed, and I can't help but feel that this is not something that's going to be taken on willingly. The current dichotomy in America between different political points of view, whilst in the short term that seems to be healing temporarily, is only going to get worse over the coming 6 months or so, and by the time we're into March, April, May of next year, when Jupiter will be standing still on the American Sun, I do expect major changes in a way that will then be permanent. And Those changes are as yet negotiable, up in the air, and up for grabs. However, the events, situations, and developments that occur between now and March in America are in many ways going to determine the very long-term future of the USA. And if the USA's chart were that of an individual, I would have no hesitation in saying to that individual at this time that you need to take on the long view, not the short term. You need to be playing the long game now and not overreaching or overstretching or overindulging, and instead preparing yourself for change by becoming more flexible and adaptable in your approaches to words like structure, law and order, more tolerant of both internal and external environments, and not letting mountains get made out of molehills, because believe me, come March, April, May next year, things are going to get a lot bigger. And the way America manages its affairs then will determine both its internal positioning and structure as well as its external projections for the very long-term future. So the message to America, as it is from an astrological perspective at this time, is be sensible, folks. Choose willingly to take the middle ground. That's it for today. Catch you later. Bye.